Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There we go. Get some cage in ya. What?
I'm trying to think what his little like pose gesture is.
What's that?
Like I think he does like an AJ Styles.
He likes
type,
doing the
just do this, and then he's like.
He also does the chops. He'll follow his Wolverine chops. Guys, it's episode 7. Let's talk some Lucha Underground. What a phenomenal, absolutely incredible main event we had tonight. I mean, like, we'll get to it. We're going to have to allot a lot of time for it. But for right now, my name is Ty Matthews. As always, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. If you're watching the video version of this, should be right there in that cool little lower third. And as always, my absolute favorite co-host, joining us after a period of absence, Mr. Jared Gilkerson. How you doing, sir?
So good to be back.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, what an episode to come back on.
Of course,
oh my God, I'll be tweeting about this for a few days. At Gilkerson Radio on Twitter. Give me a follow, give me a shout out.
There you go. And next to him, he doesn't have a DVD to plug this week, but
I know. Of all weeks not to bring the DVD, we had the super
we
kick
had
party.
a super kick party on the show.
Sitting in my car, it's too far to get to.
But we can still plug it even if we don't have it in the studio. It's my man, James Frey, Jimbo Slice.
You can follow me on Twitter at TheJimboSlice. That's TheeJimboslice. And let's get into Lucha Underground.
Let's get into it.
Ring the bell.
Mark, after last week's phenomenal, that makes
Mark's
me
on point.
You know, I kind of feel like Dario Cueto when we have that kind of power. You know. But thank you for that, Mark. You're a scholar and a gentleman.
Oh, I
Well.
don't doubt it.
Shout out to Mark in the booth.
Now let's start out. We're starting out with Willie Mack and Sexy Star in the locker room, and he wants Sexy Star in his corner so that they can squash the Moth together. You know, Sexy Star is still having a little bit of, kind of PTSD, as it were, after her capture and eventual escape, whatever led to that. And, the Mack convinces her that the Sexy Star that he knows is strong. She's an ass kicker. And so he convinces her to come out with him, and they dap it up, no big deal. And we lead into tonight's opening contest. Marty the Moth Martinez taking on the Mack. And the Mack is fired up.
Who did this to you?
I love
they played it again in the background. I love it.
And I love the chemistry, or I guess I don't know if you could call it chemistry, between Marty the Moth and Melissa Santos whenever he's in the ring.
It was great. So
Just
creepy.
like gets as close to her as humanly possible, and she emotes so well. She's just got that look on her face, like, let's just get this over with. But yeah, she sees the Mack coming. She hightails it right out of there, and we're right on and popping with match number 1. What'd y'all think of this match?
I love how the fans were chanting "No means no."
Yes.
Before the match started. That was great.
He's a very
right.
specific kind of creepy. Exactly.
Yeah, the no mean that's part of the best chant I've heard all year so far up to this point.
Oh, it's great. It's
Yes.
great. There's been some good ones.
Yes.
But yeah, this, we saw a lot of the Mack's trademark agility in this, that flying front kick that he loves to
It was
use.
great. And then there was a shot of just the look on his face after he hit that.
It's those Willie eyes,
Willie's
man.
such a badass, dude.
It's those Willie eyes. Lots of suplexes as well.
Oh, yeah.
Throws in a German suplex, throws in a T-bone suplex, just throwing the Moth all over the place.
You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, the suplexes were great. That sucked me right back into
Amazing.
the match.
I can always appreciate a good suplex.
I love how he set up for it. He threw him in the ropes and then used his momentum for the German, and then just
Right.
T-boned him.
Exactly.
It was just like, oh, Willie.
Yeah.
Willie's got that freaky strength.
Exactly, yeah. And then, but not only that, we also saw a lot of agility from Marty the Moth as well. He busted out, that straight up Undertaker dive right over the top rope to Willie.
Yeah.
He's not a small guy.
No.
But he goes up, misses a big splash. We're seeing a lot of high flying from Marty. Willie Mack eventually goes up to the top, but the lights go out in the
Oh,
temple, and we finally get a chance to see Marty's sister. We've been hearing so much about her ever since the end of season 1, and we're finally introduced to her, accompanied by some of the creepiest music that you've ever heard. I mean, the music is on point with this segment right here.
It sounded like something like out of like a fucking kids like Jack in the Box.
Sure.
We're just hanging out here.
Yeah.
A kid's like a creepy
Exactly.
like Are You Afraid of the Dark intro type
100%.
stuff.
It's very much kind of like a music box sort of feel.
I also loved how like Marty had his shirt on like throughout the match and then took it off and threw it at Melissa Santos.
Right, exactly. And the way, I mean, even just the slimy way he takes off the shirt is brilliant.
Very ravishing.
It is very ravishing. Yes, definitely. But the lights go out. We see Marty's sister. We see a spotlight shown on Sexy Star, who is not having it, just absolutely freaking out. That leads to the distraction. Marty the Moth throws the Mack off the top. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I like this. This is a little bit weird, a little bit unsettling.
This is her music.
Is this her actual music?
Yeah.
No, it's just random.
I was gonna say,
I was like, this sounds just like it.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
on Mark's March mix. He drives into work with this playing on
Gets
loop.
pumped up.
He's all
This is
American
This is
Horror
on
Story
my-
Freak Show. There we go.
This is on my
that one on.
turnt playlist.
It does kind of sound like the Freak Show opening.
The Freak Show.
The Freak and the Freak Show. Oh, so good. We're gonna find an excuse to use that song later. But Marty takes advantage of the distraction, tosses the Mack off the buckles, and hits him with a super curb stomp for the win. And then he introduces us to his sister, the Mariposa.
What does that mean?
Mariposa means butterfly, I
Okay.
believe.
It means holy shit.
We learned some Spanish tonight, courtesy of Vampiro. And so it kind of fits, thematically, but just that mask is super, even just the mask is really creepy. And it uses these kind of like gross, like brown colors.
Yeah,
Well, and
not
you-
what you would think when you think of butterfly.
And you've got the scientific reason. The moths are attracted to light,
Right,
And so
right.
they stayed on point with science,
Sure.
which we love.
It's all thematically, it all comes full circle, guys. Thank you for that, Mark. Mariposa does mean butterfly. I remember a little Spanish too.
Isn't that the name of a wrestling move though?
What,
Mariposa?
La Mariposa? I think it might be, actually.
Maybe the fans should tell us.
The Mariposa, I believe it's like a twisting somersault splash from the buckles. I believe.
Oh yeah, it's like a moonsault.
Right.
But you turn.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. There we go. We're
I was
learning.
like, I know I've heard that.
Right. Exactly.
It's the music and you said the music isn't live during.
No,
those parts.
they add that all in
Yeah,
post,
yeah.
and so you lose a little bit when you're at the tapings, but it gives you that much more reason to watch later on, even if you were there,
Sure.
because it does add a lot. With Cage's music, with the audio at the beginning, with him saying "I'm a machine," that adds something to it.
Yeah.
So after this match, and when the Mariposa is at ringside, she kind of summons Sexy Star to get up, and Sexy Star feels sort of compelled to listen to her, and then she just follows it up with just a straight boot to the face.
Yeah, get out.
Really quickly in chat, Zero Cool 666 says
Great name.
Mariposa swings are made out of the leftovers of Big Rick.
Very nice. A Hackers reference and a solid joke. I like it. Guys, Hackers is probably my favorite movie.
Good soundtrack.
It is a great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Crash Override.
There you go. Zero Cool.
Hottest Angelina Jolie
Crash
movie.
and burn.
Yeah, the Gibson. Oh, we're gonna get a Hackers after show going.
It's gonna start.
But you're absolutely right. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So then after this opening contest, we see a Phoenix vignette, which lets us know a little bit about his past, his psychology, why he sort of became a luchador in the first place. He said that the real world didn't want him, so he turned to a world that was filled with myths and legends, and he became the Phoenix. And it's such a great backstory for something that otherwise you just think, oh, that's just kind of a cool wrestling name. But he says, he caps it off, and we see some awesome footage of him both his past matches in the temple and him just sparring, practicing some of those moves. And he says some fantasies are worth believing in and some myths become legends. He's out to prove the naysayers wrong and win the Lucha Underground Championship, which we will obviously get to at the tail end of the show. But what did you guys think of learning more about the Phoenix?
I noticed that whenever they talk about winning that title, they say, like, you'll become immortal. Like, whoever wins the Lucha Underground Championship is now immortal.
It's imbued with this power. I believe that.
Yeah, like, I really wondered, like, did they get, like, superpowers and become immortal?
Oh, that got me
like,
thinking.
And not only that, but it's just a dope-ass belt at that.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, a gigantic belt.
It's not a replica belt with a sticker on it.
Exactly.
Mark and I were just talking about the belt before we went live, and it's like it's so gigantic. It's gonna eventually become like just a suit of armor.
Right,
It's just gonna
exactly.
Come up to your neck.
Like, you don't really notice it right now because it's held by such a large person. But, like, when Puma was the champion,
Oh, yeah.
you can really tell how gigantic it was.
Yeah.
Now, after that, we see... We go to the men's room. Let's go to the men's room. Let's go to the men's room.
That's going to be my new ringtone. Ty Matthews saying, let's go to the
Let's go to the men's room,
Let's
guys.
go.
Where so much happens in Lucha Underground. I mean, so much story is developed in the pisser. Of
It would have been awesome if he was doing curls while he was pissing.
It would be the
puts the
ultimate.
weights down.
It would
That
be
is
the
a good
ultimate Lucha
point.
Underground vignette. Just pissing in the men's room while just getting that pump on.
It's gonna happen.
But
Oh no.
we
Alrighty.
So Jack Evans finishes relieving himself, and he's ambushed by Drago, of all people, in the men's room, who takes a little bit of exception to Jack Evans dubbing himself the Dragon Slayer. And he says, you know what, why don't you slay me right now? But Jack Evans finds an unlikely ally in the Darewolf PJ Black, who Drago had inadvertently caused his match against Jack Evans. And then we see a straight-up nunchuck fight, guys.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
can express.
That's all I was thinking of was Ninja Turtles.
Mark's queuing up something good.
Oh my god.
But Drago introduces. I believe. Well, no. Is it PJ Black that introduces
he whacks him
the
in the
nunchucks?
face with the nunchucks.
Just introduces some nunchucks,
Yeah.
and we have a straight up bathroom nunchuck fight, which is also the name of my band. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, it's a good
we got
band.
an EP coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just, I love how ridiculous these vignettes are. We've said it before. We'll say it a million times by the end of the season. But it was so good. And I think a character like Jack Evans is meant for situations this ridiculous. Because he can take a move or he can take a line like, the people named me, and just make it so ridiculous and so silly.
I bet he came up with this. I bet they were like, hey, we want to have a fight scene with the three of you guys. We thought maybe some weapons. And he's like, how about some nunchucks?
About nunchucks, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because in
yeah.
the temple, of course, you guys would have nunchucks.
Of course, everyone has them.
Why not?
That's what we learned later on.
Yeah.
Everyone has a pair.
So
Like,
eventually,
even if
exactly. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So eventually, Drago falls to the numbers game. It's a 2-on-1 attack. Jack Evans and PJ Black are getting the best of him, and Jack Evans says, "If you don't want to be bludgeoned to death, you won't show up to Aztec Warfare." And we hear a not so familiar voice from off screen say in Spanish, "I'd give you."
Fellow checker, eh?
Oh, my God. Timing is amazing
Oh,
on
I'm
that.
so happy.
Mark, you are the man.
Incredible. So he says he
Fellow chucker.
threatens him, tells him he better not show up to Aztec Warfare, and we hear in Spanish, "I would give you the same warning," and it's Drago's best buddy from a millennia ago, Aerostar,
With glow in the dark.
with glowing nunchucks.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if
Not
you
to
guys.
be confused with glow sticks at a rave.
No, exactly.
Well, I think he uses it in the same fashion.
Right?
Yeah.
He does kind of.
They're
Yeah.
multi-purpose.
They
Party.
reminded me. I want to see. Now all I want to see is a fight scene between Aerostar and his glowing nunchucks and Steve Blackman and his
Oh, my God.
glowing
Yes,
stick.
yes.
Exactly.
He's a
see
lethal
him
weapon.
Go at it. Just glow stick versus glow stick.
Oh, man.
Glow stick on a pole match.
Glow stick on a pole match.
But Aerostar runs him off. They establish their best buddyship,
Okay.
and everything is great.
I have a theory about this.
What's that?
Okay.
got a
So
theory.
Aerostar
Oh yeah.
is from the future and goes to the past.
Okay.
Now let's say that dragons really existed in the past.
Sure. In the
And
Renaissance.
a pet Drago was brought into the future that is now fully grown and he sees his old master, Aerostar. We're buds again.
All right. I'm on board with that.
Friends.
I like it. I like that. I like a time-traveling spaceman
Yes.
luchador. I like a reincarnated time-traveling dragon with his master. I love everything about
And
this.
that was a buddy comedy.
And now it's a buddy comedy. Let's make this happen, guys.
And you can't do anything more. That was the biggest heel move tonight because Jack Evans. Did you notice he didn't flush? Like, that was the one thing I noticed, and those are old school bathrooms, so there's no automatic flushing.
No, that's just stewing.
So I thought Drago was kind of pissed. You got to keep this clean. In here.
Maybe Jack Evans is just being mindful of the drought in California.
But at the same time, Evans also took one last look at his Johnson before leaving the room.
Yeah.
He did. You know, they say if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
You sure he wasn't trying to hide the nunchucks? Like, it was like, that's the last thing. He's like, I got to hide these,
Just
But like Godfather?
right down the front of his pants.
Boom.
Oh, man. Well, so much happening in this segment. If you haven't seen it,
Did he
go
wash
watch
his
it.
hands?
No, not even that.
That's a
Roast
heel
nunchuck.
move. You know?
That's double heel.
Yeah, I
move.
feel like Jack Evans wouldn't wash his hands even if he didn't get attacked by a dragon in the men's room.
Wow, that could go so many different ways.
Exactly. But let's get into match number 2, which is supposed to be the Machine himself, Cage, taking on Johnny Mundo in a no disqualification match. We hit Johnny Mundo's music, but we see no Johnny Mundo. We see the new addition to the temple. We see Taya, La Güera Loca, as she is called in Mexico.
She has badass gear, dude.
She's
Good abs,
She's
too.
no joke.
Oh,
She's
man,
no
she's
joke.
legit. I loved on commentary Vampiro giving like the quick little backstory of like, this is a Canadian that came to Mexico to try and make a break for herself. Kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, exactly. And the Vampiro Canadians. And so we get a solid, a really good promo from Taya saying, look, since Johnny already kicked your ass, I figure it's my turn now. And she just straight up challenges arguably the strongest, most powerful guy in the temple next to Mil Muertes.
He's a machine.
To a no DQ match.
It's great.
With no hesitation at
That's
all.
what it's great about this show.
Right.
We say it all the time, every week. It's so great how there's like there's no. I mean, the genders can cross all the boundaries. There's no boundaries.
right.
You can cross any line you want, and it's just normal. And that's the way it should be.
Right. Anyone
Yes.
can fight anyone.
And it's not like you're like, oh, there's no way she's gonna walk in, hit a move, he's gonna clothesline her and pin her,
Right.
and that's it.
Right.
Every like the whole like PJ Black debuting against Willie Mack and having that vignette, and you're like, oh, Willie's gonna lose. This guy's debuting, and then Willie wins. Just
Right.
like the things that you expect from all the history of like, oh, we watch wrestling, it's always the same tropes and
Exactly.
blah, blah, blah.
It's
And
all about
Lucha Underground's
subverting
like,
them.
no, we're gonna flip this upside down. And
Right.
she's gonna come out, pie face him, slap him, take a clothesline, and kick out of the pin.
Right.
And they don't go the other way extreme either. So, but they still sell that she's a much smaller opponent.
Right.
So when he hits a big
And it's not
clothesline, it
even-
means something more.
And exactly, and that point, that's what I love, because it's not so much about a man versus a woman. It's just straight up about a stronger competitor versus a not as strong competitor.
Yep.
So he's gonna have more power behind his clotheslines. He hits her with a clothesline, and I do love. We talk a lot about the acoustics in the temple and the sound effects, and it was a little bit. It didn't necessarily take me out, but it kind of made me laugh because the slap that she gives him in the face has the exact same sound effect as one of Pentagon Jr.'s like overhand chops. So it's like, all right,
It was the same as one of his kicks.
right,
It's like somebody had an old school Shakespearean slapstick.
right. So I can appreciate the Foley art.
Is that where that term comes from?
What Foley?
Slapstick? Yeah, it was an old. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay.
Well, the slapstick party.
Interested?
Yeah.
Slapstick party, exactly. Hashtag slapstick party, guys. Get it trending. But Cage hits her with a clothesline, hits her with a torture rack neck breaker, and she still kicks out. And we saw a lot of good offense from her. We saw those double knees in the corner that she hit when she debuted. We saw a tornado DDT that really rocked him. I mean, a lot of really, really good stuff.
He got the curls in.
Oh God, we had to mention that.
Got those curls. He got that
I
pump
wrote that
on.
in all caps. I just wrote Taya curls. Awesome! Exclamation point.
I love how he
Exactly.
like curled her, pushed her up, put her on her shoulders, and then popped up, press slammed her.
Oh my God, that power slam, yeah.
I-
I've
like,
missed a couple
oh, man.
weeks, but has he had a gym promo yet? Everyone else is doing curls.
Cage?
Yeah.
No.
So he's way over. He should just be curling people.
Exactly.
All the time.
And
They should have him like flip those big tires and then rip one in half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we did see him flipping those
I've
tires
seen
in
him
his
flip the
in
tires
his,
before, but
debut
just
vignettes.
imagine him just like ripping one in half.
Right.
Instead of ripping a phone book in half,
That'd be good.
he
Exactly.
rips a phone booth in half.
Yes, the booth. Those exist anymore?
Right?
He used to find one.
Only for like time and space travel. That's all.
Yeah, Aerostar could find one.
Exactly. But we see another thing that I loved is that we saw Cage hit 4 different kinds of power bombs in a row. He power bombs her into the barricade, into the ring post, on the mat, and then into the buckles.
It was like powerbomb into something, throw you as a powerbomb into something, powerbomb you into something, throw you as a powerbomb.
Exactly. But then, oh my God, if we hadn't seen such a ridiculous main event, this would have been the highlight of the episode. We see Cage setting up 2 tables, and of course, once again, subverting tropes. You think he's setting up 2 tables, Ty is gonna find a way to kind of push him off the ropes through those tables. No, he does his signature inside out superplex to the outside through 2 tables and just demolishes.
Yeah, they're rewriting the book here of
Insane.
how a wrestling fan kind of thinks,
Right.
and they're kind of rewiring. You're like, oh, and that's what's great because you don't see much of it coming,
Right,
the whole night.
Definitely.
So it's great.
And there's that added danger of the steps and the fans and the seats being so close to the ring and to the ringside area.
For me, it was the fact that like that's something that's teased all the time but never done.
Right,
Like
right.
I've filmed wrestling and been to so many wrestling shows and seen so many wrestling matches, and I can only think of one show I've been to where dudes teased that and then actually went to the outside,
Right.
and my mind was blown. And they
Yeah.
landed on like chairs and the crowd and whatnot. But
Right,
I was just like,
exactly.
oh my God, no one ever does that to the outside. It's always like tease, oh, fall down, or like, oh, back into the ring.
Sure.
No one ever goes.
Yeah, and so that prompts Johnny Mundo to run in with that pipe that we saw him crack Cage with, in weeks prior.
Not as good Foley on that pipe.
Not as
shot this
good,
time.
not as good of
Yeah.
a sound effect. He cracks him with a pipe. We get a double pin and still a kick out from the machine. So then Johnny Mundo goes to under the ring, where of course are all manner of foreign objects, whatever wrestling arena you're in.
I was going to ask you guys, and I should have run this by you before the show, but I wrote down, can you name everything that was under the ring?
Oh, I can.
That he pulled out.
I wrote all of
wrote
that
it down?
down.
Can you do it without looking at it?
All right. I think we got.
Hold on, before we get there, I love
go
how
back and forth.
Matt Stryker was like, she's trying to put her feather in her cap, taking out Brian Cage, or maybe some fur on her
Some
boots.
fur on her boot, exactly.
yeah.
Those boots are no joke. Let's see. Okay, so we got 3 bottles. We got a cinder block. We got a kettlebell. And we have the rope attachment to a tricep pull down.
Yes.
But just the rope.
Yes, exactly. And not to mention the table from before.
Right,
And
exactly.
the pipes. Like this
In my
is-
head, I was like, what are they going to do? Are they going to put the rope between the cinder block, and then he's going to lift that up?
Just
for
make
like
some
a
sort
curve
of
step? Yeah,
Rube,
like,
Rube Goldberg
yeah,
machine.
like, is he going to put the glass bottles down and then the cinder block on top of the glass bottles? And then, like, I was
Right.
like, what is going to happen
Right.
here?
Cage is always around these damn bottles too. 'Cause
Exactly.
In the
well,
promo,
and I'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. So
Okay.
Cage, he fights out of a powerbomb attempt from Johnny Mundo, hits him with an Alabama slam. Johnny Mundo grabs a few of those bottles and hits him. And I love that continuity is adhered to, because in those first promos, the very first thing that we ever saw of Cage was him getting hit with bottles. And
Yes.
it did the bottles, they do nothing.
So Mundo, he must have missed the entire promo. He must
Exactly.
have like known he's immune to that.
Right, yeah, if you hit him with bottles, nothing's
Nothing.
happening.
No.
He hits him with 2, one after the other.
How great was that second shot? By the way,
Just-
the second shot, like the
Nothing. I love
like you're playing like the triangle.
and
Did
just
you guys notice one of the bottles that he brought in was already broken before he picked it up? Like there was one laying next to the cinder block that was already broken.
I think
I
that
didn't
broke
catch
when
that.
he did the Alabama slam.
Oh, I
'Cause he
see.
hits
Like, it
the
just
slam, and you
shattered.
just see like a bottle break.
Those things are sensitive. So we, as Cage is about to just murder Johnny Mundo after those bottles do nothing, Johnny Mundo throws Taya at Cage, who hits her with Weapon X for the
So
win.
good.
And we see, at one point, we see Cage about to, before the bottles, we see him about to curb stomp Johnny Mundo, which is another adherence to continuity, because we saw him do that to Willie Mack at Ultima Lucha. Just everything. Time is a flat circle, guys. It all comes full circle, as Matthew McConaughey would say. But, you know, I love that this is such an 80s ass feud because after all of this, Johnny Mundo says, I'm still going to take your ass to Slamtown.
Is this next to
like,
Suplex City?
Such a great... That's exactly right.
Yes.
Just plot him out on a map.
Slamtown.
It's in that radius that Dario Cueto
It's in the
is
tri-state area.
It is. I think it might be in Utah, barely.
But I love that he says, I'm going to take your ass to
Slamtown.
Slamtown.
You know what I thought for a
I wrote
minute?
that
I
down,
actually
too.
honestly thought for a minute it was like some show I missed that's coming up. Like in 3 weeks, is Slamtown.
We're going to have Lucha Underground presents Slamtown.
I wonder what kind of matches would be there.
What's that?
What kind of matches would be there?
It would just all be body slam challenges. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
Just all like Big John Stud style, straight up body slam challenges.
Perfect. I'd buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So after this match,
buy that for
we
a
see. There you go.
$1.
Bitches leave. We see. We see. Like, what's easily becoming one of my favorite parts of the show. We see a Famous Bee commercial, and this one is even better than the last ones. Because, and here's why. And it's such a little thing that made me laugh way harder than it should have. He says, he's gonna, what did he say? He said,
Got two questions.
yeah, A, why am I wearing this wizard hat? And two, like, his indexing methods are so good. It reminds me, there's a George Carlin bit similar to that, where it's A and 2, because I'm no good at numbering. I forget what he even said after those, because I was laughing so hard at that indexing. But we see him take this Brenda character, who he says is toe up from the flow up, because she has no car, she has no job, she's
ugly.
She's looking rough. And Famous Bee with his wizard hat and with his magic wand.
His magic touch.
It's magic touch. Hot damn, Alakazam.
Yeah.
It's so good. He makes her beautiful. He makes her famous. But then there's a moment at the very end where it reminds me a little bit of kind of Tim and Eric.
Oh my God, you read my mind.
Where it like the commercial stops, but he's still looking at the camera. And he just kind of looks around, and it even cuts to Brenda, who is also looking around.
Oh my clowns!
It was God. It was so good.
You can't really you just explained the whole damn thing there, and you can't really say anything else. You did. You did it justice right there.
It's hilarious. It's so good. All of these Famous Bee vignettes are getting better and better. And so I can't wait to see him debut.
It would have been even better if the two dudes in Lucha Mask just popped out at the end and he just swung at nothing but still knocked him both out.
Oh my God! Yes.
No, dude, you just what if those three guys and Famous Bee go for the trios championships and he makes them stars?
I'm in.
But I would love that. But Famous Bee says at the top of the segment that he's recently retired. He's world famous, but recently retired. Now he's just in the business of making other people famous.
Really? Because I thought he's
He said
I'm an underground fighter.
He's
recently retired.
He's a world famous underground fighter that's recently retired.
I didn't know if that meant I used to fight underground. I'm retired, but now I'm going to Lucha Underground to start a new chapter.
Oh no, I think
you think he's going to be like a manager?
I think that meant he's recently retired, and so now he's using his expertise and his magic touch to make other people famous. Yeah, exactly.
Can we call 423 get fame?
You actually
Have you
can.
called it yet?
Bill Handstock revealed last week that you can actually call 423 get fame and actually hear a recording.
And he's like,
God.
you leave me a message and I'll talk to you and think if you're good enough for me to make you famous.
That's commitment. That's commitment to the bit right there.
Damn.
But we also see one more vignette. I'm getting excited, getting ahead of myself. We see one more vignette. We see Ivelisse leaving the office of the new proprietor, Katrina, who says she has secured her Son of Havoc and Angelico a trios title match, but with one caveat. Either they win or they hit the open road permanently.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we see more infighting and bickering.
Son of Havoc has got some comedic timing.
That really...
Pretty funny.
Between the timing and the voice, that was some solid stuff in this one.
champion.
So wait,
Ex-girlfriend.
Ty, are you saying we're gonna have a tag team match?
You
know it's the Mack militant. Coming to get it on.
Oh, I'm so happy,
Where's
Mark.
my oversized suit?
I'm so happy you said that.
I mean, there's no tagging, but who cares?
I
just
can't
wanted an
believe I
excuse.
didn't
Come on, Ty.
find that opportunity.
This makes me wonder because how we've been talking about all these tropes and the typical things that happen in wrestling. Normally when it's if we lose, we're out of here. They win.
Right.
You know, But with the way that Lucha Underground has been doing things, like, who knows
With this
what's going to
show,
happen.
you never know. Once again, someone literally died in season 1.
Dude, I totally have a prediction for these 3.
Do you?
And it involves our boy, Dario Cueto.
Okay.
Because if they leave this temple, where else do they have to go but to Dario's temple?
Oh.
Or Dario's sacrificial altar.
Matanza.
Ring the bell.
Damn it, I had my hands on something else. You can't do that.
We know you do.
Hey-o.
Hey, I ain't no Jack Evans.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's true. You flush at least.
This is
Exactly. You're classy,
This
gentlemen.
is the Terry Bollea.
Oh boy.
Can we? I don't mean to go back too far, but how I love these the what is it, the Home Depot, or what is it, the Johnny Mundo promos?
Oh, the AutoZone
The workout
workout
ones.
of the week.
Yeah, and it's like a legit workout, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try that.
They're workouts that nobody could do except Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
Let's
Do
do some
scorpion
scorpion
push-ups.
push-ups.
Yeah,
What
and
the
then
hell's a scorpion push?
and then his glasses are half off in the locker room. It's just like, how am I supposed to want to do? Like, it's a great promo.
I do love those. Yeah, we get the Luchador of the week. We get the AutoZone Johnny
the
Mundo
AutoZone.
workout of the week. It's good stuff.
It's the greatest.
But let's get into this main
Yeah.
event, guys.
Yep.
Triple threat match action. We got Mil Muertes defending the Lucha Underground Championship against both Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. I'm going to be honest, I didn't take a single note in this match because I was
just
too
watched
busy
it.
watching it,
Oh,
and I
man.
knew we would talk about
should see
damn near
these notes.
everything.
You should see these.
Yeah, you guys got some
Psychopathic.
These notes.
straight up. There you go. Kevin Spacey from Seven-esque notebooks here.
It's all just the same thing. It's just like Prince Puma.
It's just it's all it says is Prince Puma over and over again, and must escape. I'm not sure what he means.
I mean,
Pentagon Jr.
I love the story that as much as Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. hate each other, they know that the only chance that they have of even coming close to winning is to double team Mil Muertes until they can put him down for a while and then fight each other.
Yeah, my enemy's enemy is my friend kind of
Exactly,
thing.
exactly. Well, not only that, but Mil Muertes is such an overpowered presence in the temple. I mean, like we've said, he is Shao Kahn. So, like, this would be, I don't know, like Liu Kang and Kano teaming up to fight Shao Kahn.
Kano.
Something like that. I don't know. There's probably a
Johnny
better
Cage
comparison.
and Kano.
There you go. There you go. Well, that would be, I think that would be Johnny Mundo. But-
Katrina looking hot.
Incredible. Absolutely.
episode.
As always. I mean, past guest of the show. Thank you. But looking absolutely phenomenal, as always. Those bangs work. It wonders.
You're a Bangs guy.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
nice.
I didn't think I was until I saw them on her, you know?
Yeah.
They work.
All
They
right.
work. But, I mean, just, I love... Like we said, we saw a super kick party tonight. Just so many kicks to the face. Because that's the only way you're going to put Mil Muertes down. Just repeatedly kicking him in the face from every side.
I like how he did like toss Pentagon out, beat up Ricochet or beat up Puma, toss Puma out, and Puma like dives onto Pentagon.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay.
I love them taking turns diving as
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
that was a good spot.
We saw, the Puma dive,
And there was
then
like
the Pentagon.
another spot on the outside where it was like hit, duck, hit this guy, and then this guy, hit, duck, hit this guy,
Right,
hit, duck,
right,
hit
right.
this guy.
Well, and it's like we said before. Once again, another trope that you're used to seeing is in triple threat matches. You usually see two guys fighting it out, keeping one guy on the outside, and then they just kind of like rotate in and out. They take turns, you know, because it's a simple way to put together a 3-man match, which is very, very complicated and very complex. But this. It was more like a really smooth, fluid fight scene where it involved all three.
And they went everywhere too.
Exactly, yeah. Just so many, a lot of fighting in the crowd, a lot of fighting coming off the balcony, or not off the balcony, but off the barricades.
There's like one point where like Prince Boom is like halfway up the bleachers and just jumps and hits a Hurricane Rana.
Right.
I was just like, oh my god!
He's telling every poser in the crowd with a mask on, like, get. Come on.
Yeah, I got something to do.
I know we just watched the Oscars, but you know, this is a little transition. This I wrote down, this is like Mad Max.
Yes.
This match was like Mad Max.
That's
I don't know
a-
if you've
that's
seen,
a
but
good
it was
comparison.
it was like you couldn't take a breath.
Right.
The entire
It's
time.
constant. Yeah. I remember that was the exact feeling I had even when I just saw the trailer for Fury Road.
Yes.
It was just like so much is happening right now.
What a day! What a lovely day.
Oh, such a good movie. My favorite movie of the year. But yeah, what did you? I want to know what else you thought about this match. You haven't been here in a few weeks. You're new-ish to the temple.
Man,
I want to know what you thought.
I just wrote down, my notes just consisted of moves. Just move. Here's what's going to happen next
Right.
week. But some of the ones that stuck out to me were, of course, the Do we want to get to some of the ones that are
Sure,
near the,
absolutely.
I mean, the 630.
The 630 is it
gorgeous.
gets more impressive every time you see
Katrina and the 630, both gorgeous.
Both gorgeous.
Yes. And I love Pentagon's kind of back suplex on the apron. It was kind of a side slam. Back suplex.
That was another thing that really got my attention because that's one thing. Apron moves have become kind of more and more common, more and more trite. But
It's the hardest part of the ring.
Pentagon jumped before he landed with it. That's what made this different. It's little things like that that really grab your attention. Before dropping him with that back suplex, he himself jumped to add to the elevation.
Yeah, impressive. And just a few. And then we were trying to talk about what the name is of Pentagon's move.
Okay,
sure.
So like when Shingo from Dragon Gate does it, it's called Made in Japan.
Okay.
When Delirious and Ring of Honor does it, it's called Here It Is.
Okay.
So what are we gonna call?
Oh man,
he needs to name it.
If I had to go technical, I'd say probably a pump handle.
Leg drop?
Cradle sit out power bomb. I don't know.
Was there a leg
let's go
drop in there
technical
too,
with
isn't
that
it?
because that's not.
Mark,
a long
Mark,
name.
look it up on Wikipedia. It should be under the in wrestling section.
Because there is a leg drop involved.
Here
kind
in
of.
Mexico.
Kind
is
of
what I
the
would call
way
it.
the way he
Because then he
lands.
keeps it on for the pin too.
Right. Well, Matt Sydal had the Here It Is, and that's.
But he took it from Delirious.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Here is Japan.
Here is Mexico.
Here is made in Japan.
Yes.
There's
some
sort of pump handle element to it.
Yeah, and then of course his awesome pile driver. It's just note after note after note. Just
And that was
amazing.
the package pile driver really seemed to drill Puma even more than usual on tonight's episode.
I like how he does double sling blades.
Yes, we saw that first in his one-on-one match with Puma, but
And it seemed like when he did it there, it was like because he didn't hit it all.
he sort of rolled out
And,
of the
like,
first one. Yeah.
This time it was like, no, Mill's definitely gonna get up. I gotta hit him with another one.
Right. Sure.
And this was the episode I thought sold being live in the crowd the most.
Definitely.
This made me want to buy a ticket and go to the show. Seeing everyone have to parting of the seas.
Exactly.
And it was so interactive because they worked all angles of the crowd. They were everywhere. And that seemed like so much fun to be right next to him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Seeing Mil Muertes, you like part the crowd
Yes.
in the way that he did.
Right.
was- I would just be like, I'll go anywhere you tell me to go.
Oh, yep,
As
yep.
long as you're not running at me. With
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
spear.
I love Puma hit like a gnarly shooting star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off
Definitely.
like the guardrail to both of them on the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's no give to a guardrail. Like you can't get
Yeah, you
any
can't
kind of
spring.
Yeah. And he made it look seamless.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And he says he doesn't go full tilt. Like he hasn't wrestled full tilt in like years.
And that's funny because when he's doing those dives, at one point he just did an over the top rope somersault plancha, and I'm like, that's him holding back so much.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like because I mean, obviously you made the documentary about the Young Bucks. I remember seeing footage of their backyard days when they very first started training at Rev Pro, and like. The stuff they do now is holding back so much, and that's how kind of what it reminded me of with Prince Puma is that
he could do a double moonsault.
yeah, his ridiculous stuff is his like off day.
Yeah.
But we see the somersault plancha, we see a flying space tiger drop, which is one of my favorite move names of all time. That's kind of the no hands moonsault over the top rope.
Like
that hero
AJ
does a lot.
Styles, Pillsbury flop. or
Yeah,
whatever you call it.
exactly. Yeah.
I love Vampiro's. If you don't speak Spanish,
Yeah.
the crowd is chanting "Holy shit!"
Oh shit! Yeah, exactly. And we know what that means.
Holy shit.
That was a little above average Mike Sanders coming out. You know what that means. Late 90s WCW, guys. Get it. But this was, this is absolutely amazing. You really had a sense that you didn't know who would come out on top. They hit Mil Muertes with a million super kicks, put him down, but it's just not enough for the most powerful being in the temple, and he manages to just come back and destroy them both. Pentagon hits the package pile driver. He's about to snap the arm of Prince Puma, and then Mil Muertes just says, Nope. Hits spears on everyone, hits the big old double flatliner for the win to retain the championship. But, as we would see from our challenger, that celebration would not be long. It would be very short-lived because Phoenix is cashing in his Gift of the Gods championship for next week. And I love that he calls himself the Man of 1,000 Lives. He's the yin to Mil Muertes' yang, or vice versa, whichever one is bad
He
and
is
good.
the Liu Kang to Shao Kahn.
Exactly. That's exactly right. you know, he's the man of 1,000 lives, has his number, and he's going to cash in that belt. And I was really expecting, at the end of his promo, I was really expecting that he was going to make it a Grave Consequences match. Oh. Like, I really thought we were going to see another one of those. But so soon on the road to Aztec Warfare 2, I think they want to kind of put all the focus on that, because the first Grave Consequences was absolutely incredible. If you haven't seen it, the first season of Lucha Underground is on iTunes, and word on the street is that they're very close to securing a deal with Netflix. So there will be no excuse to not see season 1.
Nice.
I mean, just absolutely amazing stuff all around. With that, we come to the end of this episode. There's no scene during the credits, no scene after the credits. Always a bummer to me.
Yeah, I've been bummed out about that the last 2 weeks.
The silver lining means it is time for predictions.
Yeah.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV prediction.
Ring the bell.
Get it. Love it. So, Jimbo, what do we think is going to happen? Thank you, Mark.
I hope Phoenix loses next week, just so that the following week we could start up who's earning coins to get the Gift of the Gods.
Sure, definitely.
That's my biggest thing, because I really want to see another gnarly, like, 8-man match of, like, who's going to get this belt.
Exactly. I love the concept of that title so much, and it's just, it always means a beautiful train wreck.
I'm hoping to see more vignettes, like maybe like what's up with Matanza right now. Like,
yeah,
did he devour those 3 gentlemen?
Oh, you gotta think.
Are there more people that are gonna get sacrificed up? Are they gonna start moving this way? Like, what are we gonna get?
Right.
Like, maybe we get like Dario getting stopped at the border, and they want to check the back, and he's like, I don't think you should do
you don't
that.
Want to do that.
And they're like, you don't tell us what to do, and then you just hear like, and blood,
and then horrific chomping noises. What do you think, Jared?
I'll keep it with the 80s. The
Slamtown?
match.
Gonna take us to Slamtown?
I actually wrote down on my notes Slamtown. I think eventually, not soon, but I could see Taya leaving Mundo and going with Cage.
Going with Cage?
Because she comes off as one of the strongest female competitors. Like, she's jacked.
Sure.
She's ripped.
Yeah.
And those two together could be totally like an 80s package deal.
Interesting. I could see that.
The new Body Donnas.
Yeah. yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so I would love to see those two go at it for a while, because it's entertaining, but I want to see more vignettes involving those two.
Right.
Because we see a lot of commercials and promos with Johnny Mundo, but Cage got his, but I want to see kind of them like in the gym together or in the locker room or something, just a little campy.
Got to see more curls,
and
man.
there's exactly more curls, just curling people in the gym.
Right.
So I want to see that. Like I'm thoroughly entertained by that.
That would be a great vignette. He like picks up weights, puts them down, picks up weights, puts them down, and it just keeps getting bigger. And then he's just like curling people.
It just
it's
becomes
those 2 dudes in the
Aerostar.
lucha masks again.
Right.
He's just curling, man.
Right.
Aerostar just appears in his arms. He's like, oh my god.
He's like, oh, wrong teleporting.
Exactly.
Jim.
So since we know that Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, and Angelico have this trios title match coming up, I feel like they're gonna regain those belts, and Katrina and Mil Muertes are not gonna be happy with the Disciples, and we might see them get sacrificed or something. I think like because even though we haven't seen them or the belts in a long time, we haven't really seen them much at all this season. I feel like that's still intrinsically part of their plan to kind of hold their power that they hold over the temple. So I think when they lose their titles, because I think they will, I think they'll lose the trios titles. It's not going to be a happy ending for the Disciples. So
Not at all.
Who knows? Who knows?
Well, you could also have the Disciples lose to next week, almost tomorrow. That way, you get an idea that, well, maybe Katrina doesn't have all of the power, and it brings the fans into thinking, oh, well, then Phoenix is going to win, and Phoenix gets absolutely destroyed by Mil Muertes.
Definitely.
Nothing can stop him.
I do feel like, Phoenix walking into this title match, I feel like he needs to do so much more preparation for his blood rival, Mil Muertes.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't think... I think the trios titles will change hands. I don't think the Lucha Underground title will, just yet.
No.
No, and I'm looking forward to just more weaponry.
Of course, more nunchucks. We'll definitely see more nunchucks.
Like out of nowhere, someone just has a gun, and you're like, wait a minute, what?
If there's anywhere that could happen.
No, but it's a nunchuck gun. It's a gun that shoots nunchucks.
A gunchuck.
A gunchuck.
A gunchuck.
It would be. I feel
A
like
fellow gunchucker, eh?
I feel like that would be Killshot's signature nunchuck.
Oh, wow.
I want everyone to have their own version of the nunchucks.
Yes.
Taya's got like furry nunchucks.
What would Bengal have?
Bengala. Oh man.
It's like
Bengal.
cat toys.
Just striped. Yeah, exactly.
They're all fuzzy toys.
Two scratching posts.
They just,
Little.
they just dangle it in front of him in the ring, and he gets distracted and he loses.
I was thinking, like, during Mill's match, why didn't they just go out and kick Katrina and take the stone?
Right? The same reason nobody thought to kick Paul Bearer and take the urn.
Well, she could teleport, right? Can she just disappear?
This
That
is
would have been
true.
hilarious.
This is true.
They all chase her and she's just up at the top of the stands.
But
like,
she can only.
she
I feel-
does the
the Matumbo? No.
Not today.
I think she can only. I mean, like, not necessarily for practical reasons, but she may only be able to teleport in the bowels of the temple. You know, in the men's room, maybe.
The bowels.
Yes. I'm just full of poor word choice today, but you get what I mean.
No flushing.
I don't know if we can see teleportation at ringside, but you know,
Maybe.
the training area where they lift weights, sure.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, who knows? But always fun to see what happens in the temple. We'll be right back here next week, and let me say this, next week we have a very, very special guest. We have the co-executive producer of Lucha Underground, Krista Joseph, joining us live in studio next week. The people love it. The crowd's into it. The fans, you can't see them, but they're going nuts right
Does
now.
he speak Spanish? Because holy shit.
Exactly. He'll be here on St. Patty's Day, no less, talking about Lucha Underground, what we can expect. Also, Lucha Underground, if you want to check them out, they're on iTunes. They're coming up at South by Southwest if you're in the Austin area, all that good stuff, Austin Warfare. But, you know, once again, if you're on iTunes, if you're checking them out, conveniently, you can also check us out on iTunes. You can download, rate, review, subscribe. 5 stars if you're nasty. That's what we always love 5-star reviews. You know,
5 sexy stars.
5 sexy stars.
my God.
Mark, you are
Ring
a
the bell.
genius. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and of course, tweet us, Instagram us. We love hearing from you because we love talking about Lucha Underground. But for now, guys, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TheJimboSlice, TheeJimboslice. RSVP for your super kick party. Normally I'd hold my DVD
So
up right
many
now
letters.
and be like, hey, buy my DVD at highspots.com. The Young Bucks, Too Sweet Journey. Yeah, Matt Stryker's in it and a ton of other people from
Lots
Lucha
of people.
Underground.
Yeah.
It's a great DVD. Check it out. That's at Gilkerson Radio for myself. Give me a follow. Let me know what you like about these Taya curls.
Of course. And
Yes.
as always, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as various other after shows, including The Magicians, Second Chance, and Monday Night Raw. Next week, 3 out of my 4 after shows have special guests lined up. So tune in. Let's talk some TV. It'll be great, great stuff. Also, remember to tune in to Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on KDOC locally, U2 America nationally, or come see us live. We're in...
Port Hueneme.
Port Hueneme. Why could I not think of the city? The Ocean View Pavilion, Port Hueneme, every second and fourth Sunday of the month, 3 p.m. It's free. It's completely free. So come check out some free wrestling. Next week, we'll be right back here, same time, same channel, with Krista Joseph, talking episode 8 of Lucha Underground. But until then, Viva la Lucha!
If you're nasty.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Ring the bell.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.